Hello, all you EuroHooplifers, all the people, certified FIBA basketball players. We're here with Will Perry. We're going to be talking about Ovarense, Portugal, and 2017-2018 season. Is that correct, Will?
Yeah, I was actually there 2017-18 season and then the 18-19 season, so 2 years.
They re-signed you and you say 2 seasons?
Yep.
Okay. Tell me a little about that. Tell me about the situation, what the city was like. Give me go into a little bit of background about that.
Yeah, so it was my second season where I signed with Ovarense out there in Portugal. First year went well, so they ended up signing me for a second year, and I liked it. They liked me, so that was nice. The city was called Ovarense. It's right on the beach of Portugal, which was really, really nice. The city is small. There's not a lot of people, but it lives for basketball, man. So that was really cool. I mean, the people in the city were crazy about Ovarense, the club, and so it was really fun, being involved in that.
Nice. So I played in Greece and it was right on the beach. It makes for a much more beautiful place, location just to be out there. Weather-wise, you're out there, got the big oceans and the seagulls and stuff. So yeah, I can see how you wanted to stay there for a second season. Let's go into details. When you got there, the first season compared to the second season, obviously this is going to be a little bit different because most European contracts are just 1-year contracts, and then they say, wish you the best, good luck, goodbye. Go into details about what it was like their first year compared to the second year. Going to talk for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah, so first year was definitely different than the second year. The first year we weren't as good as the second year. The first year we had some injuries on the team, and we just weren't as good as we were the second season. Everything went well as far as getting to Portugal and the club, picking me up, getting me to the apartment. Again, the apartment was right on the beach, so that was really nice. The apartment was decent, I'd say it was average. It was better than my previous experience I had my rookie year, so that was cool, just having a little step up in conditions,
Yeah.
The second year was nicer because I got paid more. We were better. The fans came out more because we were winning. And I think it was overall a nice experience, on the court for sure. And then off the court, the fans made it cool, and the city's nice. Being on the beach gives you a little breath of fresh air when you're home, So.
When you have a little bit of time off, you're okay with just being outside instead of just stuck. And so I was in Zagreb, and it's gray and cold and miserable everywhere. So it makes for a different living situation when you're over there for 8 or 9 months. How was the team? What was the facilities like? You said it was what size of a town was it? How many people were there?
I couldn't, man, I don't know. Maybe the same as my previous years, so maybe 170,000 people. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good guess for Ovar. But the cool thing is, the city got behind basketball a lot in the early 2000s, they were telling me. So they had a lot of money. They ended up building a couple $1 million arena. So the arena was really nice. Unfortunately, the financial crisis hit, and I guess it happened kind of during the building of the arena or something. And so there was a couple weird things, they had a weight room in the arena, but it wasn't so, great. But the actual on-court, nice wood floors and facilities was cool. It was nice. And my apartment was 10-minute drive, and they gave us a car. I had to share the car with another player, but that was pretty good. That was a good situation.
Awesome. And so when you were over there, did they provide shoes for you? Did they give you practice jerseys? And just kind of give the players of what daily expectations of practices were like, the coaches, the management, and even sometimes, even if you go to Australia, you have to do a lot of public appearances. You have to do 4 of them per week every day. It feels like you're finishing practice and you have to go out and put on demonstrations for a middle school out in the middle of nowhere. What was a daily grind for a basketball player?
Yeah, so out there in Portugal, we actually had a lot of what you just mentioned. So we had a lot of extracurricular stuff, I guess you could say, off the court. We went into schools a lot and, just talked to the kids. And I think that it's just cool to see somebody from a different country for those Portuguese kids. So that was always a thing we had to do. It got a little strenuous at the end. We were kind of man, we got to do this again. You know how that goes. But overall, it was maybe once every 2 weeks we would do that, so it wasn't too much. let's see. So we practiced twice a day. Practice was okay in the morning. The practices were a little lighter than in the afternoon in Portugal, so that was nice. In the morning maybe you just do like shooting and skill work, and then when you come back for the afternoon practice, it's more of a team atmosphere. Coach was really good in Portugal. My coach was really good. Spoke good English, which is good because sometimes when you're in Europe, you can get a coach that's English isn't so good, and that's hard to deal with for sure. But practice was nice. The management was pretty good. It was a pretty well managed team. A lot of times the management and the people on the board would sit in practice, which was interesting, and kind of watch practice. So that was interesting. You're kind of always like under the gun and feel like you're always being watched every day.
Under the microscope.
Yeah, under the microscope every day, every move. But that was good. We got some gear. We got some sweatsuits. We got a travel bag, which was good. We never got shoes. We always had to get our own shoes, which was a pain because in Europe it's just hard to find big size basketball shoes. I guess it was always a problem. And I always wish that the club would have gave us some shoes, but they didn't. One good thing about playing for my club in Portugal, Ovarense, was they had a guy doing all your laundry. So you could like throw your laundry in the bag, and the next day you come back and it's all ready. So
you didn't have to worry about bringing it to practice and everything.
Exactly. So that was a plus in there because some clubs don't care. You just practice. You get out of practice, go in the locker room, and just show up for the next practice ready with dry clothes. So that was good for Portugal.
Nice. So you think the overall experience was? I think in our discussion before we started this interview was that the first year was better than the second year. Is that correct?
Yeah, the second year was better, on the court. The first year I had no problems off the court. Unfortunately, the second year we had some financial problems with the payments, so that was not good. But on the court, winning games, just feeling good on the court the second year was probably better.
Okay, so let's get into the financial portion of things. How was the whole overall situation first year, second year? Obviously, this isn't too long ago, so if I was interviewing you about when you played there in 2009, obviously it probably wouldn't be all that relevant because it's 10 years and teams change. What was that like compared in the 2017-18 season from your first to second? Was everything smooth? Were things behind? Did they catch up? What happened?
Yeah, so in 17-18, my first year, everything was smooth. Everything went well. We got the money on time and we got the correct amount. Now, my second season wasn't as good. The money started being late about the third or fourth month I was there. I think maybe like 1 month late, so that started getting us a little worried. Like me and some of my teammates, started talking about that deal a lot. Let's see, let me think. Yeah, I say like the last 4 or 5 months were late every time. The only good thing I'll say about that is like the management did come up to us, every month and tell us the truth and say, hey, we don't have the money right now. I never asked him why he didn't have the money. I kind of let my agent handle that portion, but he always came up and said, hey, at the end of the season, you'll have all your money before you get on the plane. And I will say, like, we were a little bit worried, me and some other teammates that were foreign. We're a little worried about getting all the money, but, luckily they were telling the truth. They gave it all to us in the end, but it was late. It was late.
And so just that hesitation of coming to practice, you got your head down, you're kind of, the emotions are a little bit down. You're like, what are we doing this for? Is that kind of the mindset that you guys had?
Man, yeah, for sure. I mean, imagine like being at at any job and like you're working, doing your job and the payday comes and you don't have the money. You're thinking like, man, all the last couple of weeks of all that work was for nothing. So the morale was definitely different. I remember like we were just as a team, because everybody's money was late. We were as a team just kind of like, man, are we even supposed to be practicing right now? And we had some serious discussions about that, whether to practice or like, do something. And some guys, handled it differently than others. So I kept practicing, kept playing, but it was definitely like a total mood changer when the money was coming late. It was a total difference changer on our court performance and in practice.
What were some of the actions that other players took? Just a quick little info on that.
I'd say the main one would be just a couple players didn't want to practice, so just didn't practice. It's basically saying, hey, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not going to work. Which makes sense. And
But the funny
in
thing is
some,
they look at you sideways if you do that. Like, hey, what's wrong with this guy? He doesn't want to practice. Like, dude, we're not used to this. If you work, you get paid. Over there, they look at you like, oh, stupid American, you don't love us, you aren't dedicated to us. But at the same time, you don't feel that they're really behind you, because as soon as they can find somebody else, they'll get rid of you and you'll be on your way home.
yeah, that's the best way. That's a good way to put it. It's kind of like just culture there, I guess. I think it's just culture that they're just got used to that. So when it happens, it's just like another day, And for us, it's like, whoa, like this is not okay. But there's only a few of you, and there's a lot of European players. So the European players might say, hey, man, like, does this guy really care about us, care about the team? Like, come on, let's do it. Let's practice.
Good point.
When you guys are kind of like, well, it's kind of weird, man. We came over here for our job. We left everything in our home countries to come play, and we don't have money for what we're doing. This is not okay. So, that can be an issue. And some players would practice, but go through the motions, as you would say in the practice, or not really.
50%.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, let's wrap this up. I just wanted to kind of ask you overall, how would you, if someone was to reach out to you, how would they get in contact with you? And at the same time, if someone was to reach out to you, what would you tell them? Would you recommend that they sign with this team, or would it be kind of like get your inside information and talk to you first?
Yeah, I mean, I think like whenever you're going to go to a club in Europe, for sure talk to the previous, foreign players. That's a great move. Teams change every year, like as happened in Portugal. So you never know, but for sure talk to the previous guys, and they can tell you about like the character and personalities of the management. So I think that's a good move. You can find me on social media like Instagram, Will Perry 0, or Facebook, Will Perry. But it was a great experience overall, man. I think if you like have a good time playing basketball and you end up getting the money, I think like it's positive.
Awesome. Well, Will, thank you for your time and your information here. I think a lot of people, and just the whole emotion of, it seemed like, in Spain, it was a great situation, never a financial problem. Next year, you got a little bit of a taste of it. And I think we're going to interview on Bulgaria, which was, heard was a bit of a nightmare. So we'll dig into that one and get a little bit more information out of you on that. Thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Awesome.